Excellent. So we've completed our starting the dynamic menu and did the top level, and we're getting ready now to merge into our branch and push it out to our server and finish up this step of the project. So at this point we're in Dreamweaver, and what we want to do at this point is to go ahead and open the readme file with Dreamweaver. I'm just going to copy and paste this, put this in here, and we're going to just put replaced navigation menu with top level pages by creating a function and array to create a menu. And the different pieces of information that we really want in here are things such as the fact that, you know, what pages were created, what different things were created in this step. And so what we really want to do is go ahead and put in here that we obviously created the file. Again, copy and paste. It just makes life easier. Created the menu data file. So we'll go ahead and say that as well. A lot of times you'll see developers will put what type of file, like it's not the type of file necessarily, but what that content is focused on in there. And we want to go ahead and put in there that we can actually tab this in and say created the menu items array. Up here we can tab it in and say that we created the menu builder function. And then we want to make sure that we put in here as well, for anybody coming in, the fact that we went ahead and we included our menu data and our functions files. So we can come in here, and again, I'm just cheating a little bit, doing a little bit of copy and paste. Included in the very top of header inc PHP and we'll do the same thing for our functions as well. And in some places where you might work, they might call this a manifest. And what it's doing is it's just letting people know, in case you end up in trouble with some errors and things like that, it's just giving them a basic idea of what you've done to the site, what changes you've made, and it makes it easier for troubleshooting, things like that. So we'll go ahead and we're just going to save that, and we're going to close our readme file. Now that we've updated our readme file, let's go ahead into Git and do a status. So we'll do Git status. We should see all kinds of things. We modified the readme file, modified the header include. These files are untracked because we've added them, and what we want to do is just go ahead and take all those changes and add them. So we'll do git add star. Now what that should have done, we should see a lot of green now, which we do. It's captured all the changes, and it's added an event. It's added our new files to be tracked, and we are good to go there. We see that we have our 201 branch up there, and so the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and do a so we're going to git commit and -m, because we're going to go ahead and put a message in there, and we'll say began the top dynamic navigation. Easy enough. Now at this point we should be able to do git status, everything's committed, and we should be able to do, now we're going to do our push to origin, and we're pushing our branch up. Put in our username, password, and we can see we have everything pushed up. We can see that our 202 branch went up. We're in our 202 branch. We can see our include in there, and we can see our files have made their way in. Let's go ahead and confirm our readme is going to include 201, 202 because we're on master. Come out here, and yes, it will include. So we have all of our changes are up there. We can see everything that we need. And so at this point, what we really want to do is go ahead and begin our merge. So before I do that, I'm going to just do a clear. And I'm going to git check out master. Now you can see that I'm in the master branch. And being in the master branch, at this point, I can go ahead and do a git merge. We can see that it's brought in all the changes. And we should have checked actually locally on our master just to see, so we could see the changes take place. We didn't, so we're just going to continue moving forward, and let's go ahead onto our local and take a look and make sure that at least things still look kosher and working the way that we think that they should, which we did. Awesome. So we'll do a git status, and at this point we can go ahead and push master to GitHub. So we'll do git push origin master. Username and password, Brian R. Savage. And it should have pushed. And so at this point we should be able to go out and take a look. And if we look at our master, at this point we include our 202. We can see that we're in our master branch right now, and if we go to include, we can see that those files and changes are in there, and we are good to go. So one last thing that we have to do. We'll go ahead and look at our 2xx site, and I'm going to bring that all the way down here to the end so I'm comfortable and know that that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to go to my index page. And we can see at this point we still have our drop-down menus because we have not done a push up to the server yet. So I'll go ahead and go into Dreamweaver. By the way, we can check our branch in here too, make sure we're on master, which we are. Let's go ahead and take a peek out at our server. Everything looks good out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a sync out to my production site. And if you remember, one last time before we do the push, out here on our 2xx site we still have the drop down menus, and the idea is that that is going to go away. So I'm going to preview. I'm saying get put. Could be all kinds of surprises that come out of this. And if we look good, it wants to put a bunch of pictures out there. It wants to move a bunch of our pages out. Get a bunch of pages. What we want to make sure of is that it wants to put our functions, our header, our menu. It wants to put our index, and then it just wants to put these other pages, which is fine. I could have hit a save button making it that it wants to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. We should be able to go out. Look at our 2xx. Remember that our menu is there. Let's go ahead and put our inspect on just so that we can catch any errors. And let's empty cache. Bring it in. We lost our menu. All of our changes are now out on our server, and we're ready to move on to the next step. So that concludes this video. A little bit of a long one for a merge, but we ran into some challenges, and I'm going to leave them in there for you to see so that we can learn from each other's mistakes. I'll see you in the next step in 203.